I'm Joan Henry Gates, and I'm back again with Real Women of Philadelphia. I'm here today to share with you my meatball sub sandwich, topped with a creamy parm dressing. So we're going to get started because this sounds rather ambitious. First thing I do is I make a simple tomato sauce with a 1/4 cup of olive oil. I have this on medium heat. Here I have 6 chopped cloves of garlic. This is up to you. I like to use fresh garlic because it has quite a crisp taste as compared to the kind in the jar, but that's totally up to you. Put that in. This is 1 tablespoon of dried basil. Now I make my sauce with basil. My son makes his sauce using oregano. That's up to you. But I like it this way. So we'll get that stirring around. Now you want to make sure that your garlic doesn't brown, because if it gets brown, it gives it a little bitter flavor. So once it sizzles a little while in the olive oil, I'm going to add 28 ounces of crushed tomatoes and 28 ounces of tomato sauce right from the can. That. I think we're ready. Rather brave, I think, considering I don't have any apron on. And that's my dog, who loves to cook with me. My whole family loves to cook with me, even my dog. Okay, now I'm going to turn that up to medium-high so that starts to simmer. Over here, I'm going to mix up my meatballs. So I have 3/4 pound of ground beef. Then I have a 1/4 pound of what I use is hot sausage. If you don't like hot sausage, you can use mild. I'm just going to cut it open and add it. My kitchen scissors. Throw that in there. And then I have a cup of breadcrumbs with Italian seasonings. And I've already chopped 1 heaping cup of green pepper and 1 heaping cup of sweet onion. Add that all in. 1 egg. And 4 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese. It's hard to make anything without cream cheese anymore. Now you're going to notice, I'm going to get messy and just use my hands to mix that all in together. This takes about 5 minutes. Once I get them all mixed up together, I put them in the oven at 350, a preheated oven at 350. And they cook in about 25 minutes. Kind of keep an eye on them to make sure they don't get too dry. Okay, now when I'm done, I make my meatballs about the size of a golf ball, and I end up with exactly 32 meatballs. So with 32 meatballs, 32 meatballs, I end up with about 6 servings. Everybody gets about 4. Now, I just happen to have some in the oven that have been cooking for 25 minutes. This is kind of nice. I start them in the oven because what it does is it renders out some of that fat. And then I nestle them right down in my red sauce. Let them finish flavoring the sauce and let the sauce finish flavoring them. Now you'll notice that with the cream cheese now in the meatballs, it gives my tomato sauce kind of a softened flavor, not such a acidic flavor. It softens it down a bit. All right. Lay this over here. come back. You notice that that is just a hopping. Stir those in nice. Okay. Now, I'm going to let those go a bit. And I'm going to cover it just so I don't get spattered all up. Okay. There we go. Now, in this pan, I have 4 ounces of butter that's already melted. We're going to turn that on medium to medium high. This is 3 cloves of garlic that I've chopped up. Throwing those right in the butter. We're going to let that simmer up a little bit. So once the garlic starts to simmer in my butter, I have more cream cheese. So I'm going to add to the creamy parm sauce. Again, we'll put in half of a container of cream cheese, so 4 ounces of that. But I don't want to do it, there we go, until these get to sizzling. Because once they start sizzling, and then that oil and the butter, that's what carries the flavor throughout your recipe. It's all that liquid. So I think we're ready. We're going to add the cream cheese to this. Now my poor family, you know, number one, I love cream cheese, so we eat that a lot. But we also eat a lot of things with red sauce. I tested this out earlier this week, my meatball sandwiches with the cream cheese, and it was absolutely delicious. Although, be careful with the garlic, depending on what you have to do. Make sure everybody eats it if you're going to eat it. So, as this gets stirred in, we're just going to let it bubble, bubble, bubble. I also have half a cup of grated parm. Stir that in. And then we're going to add, this is a half a cup of milk. Throw that right in. We're going to let that bubble like crazy. Alright. I want to make sure you see how wonderful it is. Let me get a platter. So we're going to plate this up. I have just a little bit of mixed greens on the side. And I'm using the Portuguese rolls. Everybody will probably want 2 of these per portion. Because the reason I got them, because they were so nice and fresh compared to some of the other ones today. Okay. Whew. My meatballs are just a-singing. Okay. So we figured 4 meatballs a piece. And this is just about there. And you're going to see this is loaded with flavor. And that cream cheese adds a nice little zip. Okay. Spoon some of that ooey gooey, yummy, creamy cheese on top. And if that's not enough, you can throw on a bit more. That's shaved parm. Now, let's give it a taste. I think this one I'm going to have to use a fork with. Mmm, that's wonderful. Thank you.